All right, so let's see. Just want to test something out here. So I've tried to make the same video 5 times now. Each time run into a significant complication in terms of the technology. So I'm going to try one more time. If this doesn't work, then I'll find some stupid YouTube video to put up instead. I just want to show you how to add text to your images. For one, I want you to know that here's the text tool over here, the type tool. T is the keyboard shortcut. I'm using this Richard Avedon image from last time, but I just want you to see, like if I click here on the image, I can come over here and I can type, and voila. I'm going to switch to the move tool. You can just add text as a layer within your image. Now, since it's a layer, you can also duplicate that layer, so you can have the same layer multiple times, etc. Right? I could also then change, double click to change one of these layers, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you get the idea. But let's just say that you want your text to appear down below the image, like creating some white space around it. One way that you can do that, first thing you want to do is just think about how large is your image going to be on a printed page, okay? Now, we haven't talked much about sizing things beyond using full-size files and then using smaller web versions, but I want you to think about if you were going to print this, what size would it be? So if you go to image size, to find out first just how large you could print, uncheck resample and set the resolution to 300 pixels per inch. In this case, it was already at 300, but yours may not be. This here, width and height, make sure it's set to inches, and that's just showing you if I was going to print this image out right now at 300 pixels per inch, my image would be 8.29 by 11.2 by 6.2 inches, meaning it's going to be just a little bit longer than a full-size sheet of letter paper. 300 pixels per inch, by the way, that is just an ideal print resolution, okay? It means anything higher than that, you're not going to see any increase in quality. Lower than that, you can start to see a decrease in quality. That said, you could drop the resolution down to as low as about 150 and it'll still look okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make my image size smaller so I can print it on a sheet of letter size paper and have text below. To do that, I'm going to click resample. I'm going to change the height of my image to 8 inches high. Okay. Then I'm going to click OK. Boom. So now it's smaller. And then anytime you make your image smaller, it's a good idea to go ahead and sharpen it using the same method that we've done before. Filter, sharpen, unsharp mask, 85.54. Okay. There we go. It is ready to go. Looks good. Now, note what happens next. I'm going to go image, canvas size. Now, before I hit it, I just want to explain. So image, you've got image size and canvas size. Now here in Photoshop, this is your image, right? But it is currently also the same size as your canvas. The canvas is just the overall amount of space that you are working with. You can change the canvas size. So here, I'm going to change the canvas size to 8.5 and 11. And when I change the canvas size, that's just added white space. So my image is here, but now the canvas has extended out beyond it. Okay, now this is an equal amount of white space on every side, but one problem with doing an equal amount is you want a little more white space on the bottom, because if you add words down here, Now all of a sudden these words are going to be much closer to the bottom, and so the overall centering of everything looks a little whacked out. So I'm going to do a Command Z to undo that last move. I'm going to go Image, Canvas Size, change the 8.5 was fine, but instead of 11 for the height, I'm going to change it to 10.5 for the height. And then I'm going to do it again, Image, Canvas Size. But this time, when I change the height to 11, I'm going to anchor the image up top. So it means it's going to add that extra space down here to the bottom. Boom. There we go. So now even, but we have a little extra space. Now when I switch to the Type tool, there we go. I can come in here and I can type whatever I want. Now do note that in Photoshop, the Type tool, it's not like Microsoft Word where it's going to automatically go to the next line. When you have to go to the next line, you have to hit Return, and that'll bring you down below. Return. No, there we go. Full. You can also, I didn't mention it, but if you select the text up here, again, your options for any tool are this bar up here, so you can change the font. And note that as I scroll over them, it's showing me a preview there. You can change the font. You can also, let's go Arial. You can also change the size. You can change the characteristics of the font between italic, bold, etc. You can change whether it's justified left or centered or justified right. If it were a color image, it would allow me to change the size. This is a black and white, or I'm sorry, the color. Since this is a black and white image, it won't let me do that. Okay, and then there we go. I've got my text, and I can move it around and position it wherever I want. Even with the Snap to activated like it currently is, you can still sort of nudge things with your up and down arrow buttons if you want a little more space. Okay, so there you go. I think you get the idea from there. Anything you want to do, if you can't figure it out, let me know and I'll help you troubleshoot your way. All right, take care.